The deepest part of the ocean isn't empty. My brother worked on a research vessel in the Pacific for almost 6 years. Oceanographic surveys, deep sea mapping, that kind of thing. Most of the time his stories were boring. Equipment failures, storms, sleep deprivation. Then one night he called me drunk out of his mind and told me something I've never forgotten. He said, "We found something that shouldn't exist." At the time I thought he was exaggerating. A week later he disappeared. Officially they said he fell overboard during bad weather. The crew never found a body. But before he vanished, he mailed me a hard drive containing audio logs and research footage from the expedition. I didn't open it for months. Part of me didn't want to know. Eventually curiosity won. I wish it hadn't. The footage started normally enough. Scientists on deck. Sonar scans. Deep-sea drone footage. According to the logs, they'd been mapping a trench nearly 7 miles below the ocean surface. Deeper than expected. Too deep for the region. The crew referred to it as Site Echo. At first, the anomaly looked geological. Just a massive vertical shaft descending into darkness beneath the trench floor. But the deeper they scanned, the stranger it became. The walls of the shaft appeared smooth. Not natural rock. Almost polished. And perfectly symmetrical. One scientist actually joked that it looked manufactured. Nobody laughed very hard. Then came the audio recordings. At first, sonar pings echoed normally through the trench. Then something started echoing back. Not the sonar. Something else. Patterns. Rhythms. Like knocks. 3 pulses. Pause. 3 pulses again. The crew thought it was equipment interference. Until the pattern started responding directly to them. 1 ping from the ship. 1 pulse returned. 2 pings. 2 pulses returned. Like something beneath the ocean floor was answering. The mood in the logs changed after that. You could hear it in their voices. Nobody sounded excited anymore. Just nervous. Sleep-deprived. Afraid. Then came day 19. That's when they lowered the deep drone into the shaft itself. The video feed was unstable from the beginning. Dark water. Clouds of debris. Narrow beams of light disappearing endlessly downward. At around 31,000 feet, the drone lights illuminated markings along the walls. Lines. Symbols. Massive carvings stretching beyond the camera frame. Not erosion. Not cracks. Intentional shapes. The pilot whispered, "Those are too precise." Then the feed cut briefly to static. When the image returned, the drone wasn't alone anymore. Something pale moved just beyond the edge of the lights. Long limbs unfolding slowly through the darkness. At first the crew assumed it was some kind of undiscovered animal. Then the thing moved upward. Fast. Too fast. The pilot tried pulling the drone back immediately. The footage shook violently as the winch reeled upward. And for 1 split second, the camera pointed directly downward into the shaft. I paused the footage there probably 20 times trying to convince myself I was seeing it wrong. But I wasn't. There were structures down there. Huge structures. Towers. Buildings. An entire city beneath the ocean floor. And something moving between them. Something enormous. The crew lost contact with the drone seconds later. But that wasn't the worst part. That night, the knocking started inside the ship. Crew members reported hearing 3 knocks against the hull from outside. Impossible considering the depth beneath them. Especially at night when all equipment was lifted from the water. Yet every few hours. Clang, clang, clang. Always from below. One crew member quit after claiming he heard voices through a closed bulkhead. Another swore he saw wet footprints leading through the engine room at 3 a.m. Then people started disappearing. First a technician. Then one of the divers. No signs of struggle. No alarms. Just gone. According to the final logs, the captain ordered the ship to leave Site Echo immediately. But before they could move, something hit the underside of the vessel. Hard enough to tilt the entire ship. The recording after that was chaos. Sirens. People shouting. Metal groaning loudly somewhere below deck. And underneath all of it, knocking. Hundreds of knocks. Coming from every side of the ship at once. The final video file was recorded by my brother. He looked exhausted. Terrified. The camera shook in his hands while red emergency lights flashed behind him. Water dripped steadily somewhere nearby. He whispered. They came up from the shaft. Then he turned the camera briefly toward a hallway. I only saw it for maybe 2 seconds. Tall figures standing motionless at the far end of the corridor. Human-shaped, but wrong. Their skin looked gray and stretched tight like drowned corpses left underwater too long. And their eyes, completely black. My brother lowered his voice even further. They mimic people. A loud metallic bang echoed nearby. Then another. Closer. He started crying. Actually crying. And before the video ended, he said one final sentence. They were already here before we found the trench. The footage cut to black after that. No explanation. No official report. Nothing. I contacted the research company afterward. They denied everything. Claimed my brother never worked for them. Even the ship supposedly never existed. But here's the part that keeps me awake at night. 2 weeks ago, I received an email with no sender attached. No message. Just a video file. The footage showed dark ocean water recorded at night. Nothing else. For almost 30 seconds, the camera drifted silently above the waves. Then something enormous rose slowly beneath the surface. Not fully. Just enough to block the moonlight under the water. The shape was bigger than the ship itself. And right before the clip ended, 3 loud knocks echoed against the camera. From underneath,